Everyone, and welcome to our live match preview show on Football Tour Podcast. My name is Ozzy, and I'm your host for this evening. We've got a game coming up on Monday, as Liverpool will be facing Barnsley in the FA Cup. So, during the show, we will assess our opponents, present the team news. Although I don't think we've got much update in terms of the squad, but we'll just assume that the players that weren't available in the last fixture will be unavailable for this one, so we'll just have to do it in that matter. And then we will pick the lineups and also do the score predictions as well. So let's start with assessing our opponents now. Our opponents are, of course, Barnsley, who are in League One. They are currently 17th in the league. 21 games played, 8 wins, 5 draws, and 8 defeats. However, they've played 3 to 4 games less than everyone else in the league. So if they were to get some decent results, they could, of course, climb up the table by quite a bit. Uh, in terms of their squad, the main danger man is Kayla Dunn, who has scored 11 goals in the league this season. And then you've also got Reyes Cleary, who is a winger that has scored 5 goals and provided 6 assists. So 11 GA this season. So I'd be lying to say if I've, watched Barnsley much this season. I haven't, quite frankly. So this will probably be a quick match preview. In terms of Liverpool, uh, as you all know, we picked up a point yesterday against Arsenal with a 0-0 draw. Only fourth in the league. So fans will tell you that we're unbeaten in the last 10 games. But those fans will probably forget to tell you that we've actually drawn the last 4 games as well. So pin of it how you will, but I, for one, I'm not really happy with the brand of football that we are currently playing. So we'll have to wait and see in terms of how we're going to start up in this game. Because shout out to Double D, he sent me a tweet earlier on today to confirm some of the youth players that were involved uh, in the fixture. So let me present the screen, and then we can hopefully have an indication in terms of who starts um, tomorrow. So this is the tweet. So Wellity Lucky, who is Bowles' favorite defender right now, played yesterday alongside Nallo, Kieran Morrison, Trent, Conley Doherty, and Tommy Pilling, among 9 players to play full 90 minutes in the under-21s win against Norwich. Will Wright and Kyle Kelly, both back from injury, the only players subbed off. Expect Liverpool to go strong in the FA Cup. So for me, that would indicate that if any of these players were to be involved in the Monday fixture, it would probably be off the bench, or they would be available as a substitute rather than starting the game. Because I thought maybe the likes of Lucky, who's been in and around the team in the last few weeks, may get a start for this fixture. I'm not quite so sure. I think we may go strong alongside a few changes in terms of rotation. So let me know what you guys think in terms of starting lineup, and I'll present you my predicted lineups for this game. Now, in terms of team news, Ekitike could be available for this fixture. Also, did confirm a few days ago that he hadn't trained, but in the next few days should be available. So remains to be seen if he is selected. Personally, I don't think he'll be risked for this fixture, and that's no disrespect to Barnsley, but I don't feel like this should be the game that you bring someone in straight away after they've returned from injury. So maybe he'll rest for this one. Let's see, what Arne Slot does. Um, but of course, the names in terms of Isak, Leone, and Do remain on the sidelines. But I'm expecting a lot of rotations, and I'm seeing some first team players rested altogether in this game. Now, in terms of Barnsley, no injury news. So their manager will have a fully fit squad to pick his starting lineup. So before we present the predicted lineup, just gonna go through some of the comments and then we can continue the show. Let's go from here. Bo says, big up, Bo. I hope you're doing well today. He says, why do you think somebody want Slot to sign a new contract now after that game? I I haven't encountered anyone that's been so positive about the result yesterday that they think Arsenal should receive a new contract. If that's people within your circle, I think that's one sided. I haven't seen it much on social. I haven't been on social that much today, but I've not really got that notion that he deserves a new contract based on yesterday's performance. So I'm not quite sure on that one. But in terms of that sentiment, I don't agree with it at all. People are literally saying that the Arsenal game is better than under all of the club games. You agree, Ozzy? No. Who do you talk to, bro? These are some outrageous comments here. Uh, yeah, that's a lot of nonsense. I'll just have to say point blank. Bo also comments to say what we did absolutely nothing in the attack. Zero shots is not the Liverpool way. Definitely not the Liverpool way. Zero shots. Yeah, we didn't really attack. To be fair, I'll counter that. They didn't really attack us much yesterday either, but we didn't have any shots on target at all. So yeah, that wasn't the way Liverpool are renowned to play. So if people are satisfied with that, they've definitely dropped their expectations in terms of what they want to see from the Liverpool team. That for me is not something I want to ever see. To be fair, here and there it's fine as one-off games, and those are the kind of performances you produce when you're low in form. But some will tell you we're in great form. We haven't lost in the last 10. So I don't know. Make of that what you will. I don't think we're in great form. I know we've not lost many, but that doesn't mean we've been fantastic or we've, turned a page here. We're still very poor. We're still not playing to a high level. We're not playing a brand of football that will demolish teams. So I'm not enjoying this level of football that we're currently playing right now. For one thing, how much do you think that this is the last season on the slot? Since you seem pretty certain that it is, hopefully it is, Ozzy. 1 to 10. I will score currently, as in today. I'd probably say 6 or 7. So let's just say 6.5, because I think there will be other factors that will determine that stance. So let's say he wins the FA Cup. I'm not saying that's going to save his job, but it definitely adds another number to that scale of 10. If we finish in the top 4, that's another plus point. But I don't think that would have been the targets from the club. Now, if he gets the Champions League somehow, he gets another season. It's as simple as that. There's no way he would get sacked in my opinion, because how can someone get sacked for winning the Premier League and then Champions League back-to-back seasons? They have to get another season after that. So I'd go with a 6.5 score right now, but that's based on today. That's not me basing it on how the season will entail, because right now I don't know, how the season is going to conclude. There's still a lot of games to play for. We're still in a couple competitions, including the FA Cup and Champions League, so we'll have to wait and see. Well, so let's say we go out against Barnsley, lose the qualification round in the Champions League, and finish outside the top 4. Is that then a slot? There has to be. If that isn't, then there's something wrong at the club. It pains me that the players don't have a personal relationship with the coach. When players like Salah speak against you, that should have been the end. Unfortunately, Salah doesn't speak for everyone, and I don't think one person's voice will represent a collective to the owners. So that's not how they're going to review the situation. But we'll see. I think the results and the numbers will do the talking in terms of Arne Slot's future at the club. Mostly that was the only moment I thought he could get sacked, to be honest. But of course, the club is the one of the few that backs an awful coach over one of the biggest legends. Why do you think we are one of those few clubs? Because we don't fall for player power. and I don't mind that. I don't think we should fall for player power. And look, you guys should know by now, I'm a big Salah fan. You know, I've rated Salah for a long, long time before he was in a Liverpool player. So that's not me taking sides in that matter. But when you come out publicly and speak in a manner that sort of degrades the coach, whether he's terrible or not, you don't do that. That's something you shouldn't do. You should keep it professional, keep it, you know, internally, where you have these private discussions. It shouldn't be dished out in the public. So I don't think that was the right way to go. And the timing wasn't great as well after a draw against Leeds United, where we were all very frustrated with that result. Um, so yeah, that's how I see it. But I think there was other clubs that allowed their player to speak about their coach like that and then sack the coach. It shows you player power exists, and that's not how it should be at Liverpool Football Club. Ozan says, Yosi, big up Ozan, hope you're well. He says, for some reason, I'm really looking forward to Barnsley. Barnsley are not in good form though. Lost 3 of their last 4 games, that's correct. Losing teams like Ecstasy, Mansfield Town, Lincoln City, and bloody hell, what is that name there? Jogolonia. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. How can Slot complain about low block when he literally played it? Yeah. But he will tell you that he had to play defensively against the leaders of the league. So he can always spin it. He can always spin it. Ozzy says 76 seconds in the stream. Ozzy is already chugging water. I've just got terrible cough right now, which you guys will know I've had for quite some time. I don't know if it's the room that I'm filming in right now or whatnot, but it seems to happen when I start doing the show. So I'm just trying to save my voice, and trying to use the aid of water to go through the show. So yeah, do bear with me. What answer does T? Yeah, it might be the slot effect there. Slot hits the academy so much. There's no proof that he hates the academy. If I'm being honest with you, just because he hasn't started a player from the academy doesn't mean he hates the academy. Of course, you've got players like Rio and Trenioni who should be given more opportunities, but he's not just going to cherry pick someone from the academy just to prove a point. They have to be outstanding talents to be even part of the first team squad, which Rio and Trenioni are. But I feel like because his job has been on the line since November slash probably late October, November, he's under a lot of pressure right now. So that's why he's only going to go for players that he knows that can help produce the results or have the quality and experience rather than go for players that are young and untested at this stages of their career. So he's going for the safe option here. And in terms of his tactics, that's a reflection as well. He goes for a safe, cautious tactics, and that's why we're not playing a good brand of football anymore. So that's because he's under fire and he knows that his future is on the line here. Also saying the Nalo and Willie Lucky centre back partnership we trust. I don't know about that to be fair. That gives me a bit of a concern. But let's look into the predicted line. So we'll start with the Barnsley team, and I'll be brutally honest with you guys. I don't know too much about this team. So I'm just gonna present the team that appeared in their last fixture, which was a 1-1 draw against Wigan. So in terms of their team, the goalkeeper is Cooper. Let me see if I can. There we go. And then right back is Watson. And then you have De Givigny. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The Givig. There you go. French player there. And then alongside him is Shepherd. If I can learn to spell. There you go. And then on the left side, you've got Earl. who's generally a centre back, but can play on the left side. And in double pivot, you've got Phillips. Not that Phillips. Hey, hang on. Not that. Not Calvin Phillips. You've got this fella, Phillips, and you've got Connell. Oh, you got McConnell there. Is he available? I don't think he is. And I'm not even sure if he's actually returned to Liverpool. So that'll be interesting, if he is available. Um, Fabio Jallo, he played in the last game. Doesn't start a lot of games, but I'm going to go based on the last fixture. And then they've got Kelly, who normally plays on the right hand side, but has played in the number 10 role as well. So I'm going to go with Kelly. Hmm. And on the left, it was a different player that started on the weekend, but I'm going to go for Cleary, who was on the bench that day. I think he may have been rested for this fixture. There he is. And up top is the talisman in Kayla. Done. There you go. So that is the predicted lineup for Barnsley. Um, I don't think there's going to be any disagreements in regards to the team. Um, but yeah, drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. Now, let's talk about the important part, and that is the Liverpool lineup. Now, originally, I had a sort of a makeshift sort of team, but I don't know. I have a feeling that Slot might go strong for this one. I don't know why. Of course, that tweet that I presented earlier on may be the indication that because all the players have played full 90 minutes, will they be starting on Monday? Very, very unlikely, to be honest. But I don't expect it to be where um they're we completely rotate the squad and have a lot of youngsters play. I don't think it will go to that extent. Um, but let's see what I can come up with, and then we'll take it from there. So, in terms of the goalkeeper, I think this will be unanimous. It will be Mamadashvili in in goal. On the right side, I'm going for Ramsey. Unfortunately, Conor Bradley has picked up an injury. Um, Still no update. I'm hoping it's nothing too crazy or too severe. Robertson as your left back. So we've got two Scottish fullbacks there. Joe Gomez, I think we'll start in this one. Now, this is the one where I was contemplating on who starts. And this is not me trying to annoy Bowl in the chat, because the two players that I'm trying to select from is his favorite, Welity Lucky, and a player that he hates with passion in Kanate. So I feel like Lucky should have enough quality to face a team like Barnsley. But I have a feeling that Slot might go for experience in this game, and then maybe rotate across the field. So I'm gonna go with Kanate for this one. I'm not sure if Lucky will be given a chance, especially if Lucky's played full 90 minutes today. But I could be completely wrong. So let's just leave it at that for now. Um, Now, in terms of the double pivot, I'm going to go for Leone. I think he deserves to start in this game, and I will pair him alongside Gravenberg. So someone with experience that can lead the way for him. In your number 10 role, I'm going to go for Curtis Jones. Okay, on the left-hand side, I'm going for Rio. Rio has to start in this game for me. I'm sure he's on this. There he is, yes. So he has to start in this game. There is no better game but to start Rio in this fixture. Um, Now this is the one where I'm struggling with, because ideally I would prefer to have played Chiesa, on the right and maybe start someone like a Jaden Dance. But from what I know, I don't think he's fully fit. He was reported to return to training early January, which is now, but I don't know if that means he's fully fit or he's just returning or taking slow steps into full training there. So I'll assume he's out of the picture. Will Wright played today as well, I believe. Um, but he's just returned from injury. Uh, and they were the players that were subbed off. So he didn't play the full 90. So could that mean he starts? That's a possibility, to be fair. This is an interesting one. Um, it don't seem starting he sorry, Will Wright. I just don't see him starting in this game, to be fair. You don't have a lot of options, do we? This is going to be a risk, but Frimpong, and he's the only fullback we have right now because Conor Bradley's injured. But I feel like his pace will be quite lethal against Barnsley, but then again, Barnsley will definitely make it difficult for him and play a physical game. So that could be an issue there. And then up top, we don't have too many choices. So Chiesa for me starts like he did against Crystal Palace. So um that's my um predicted lineup for the game against Barnsley. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. I'm just gonna go through some of the comments before I present the score predictions. This is Bo's team. So if Bo was the coach of Liverpool Football Club, this is the team he would go with against Barnsley on Monday. So he's gone for Mama, Ramsey, Lucky, Gomez, Robbo. I'm not mad at that backline. That's the original backline that I had, but I just have a sneak feeling that he might just play Konate maybe for one half. It wouldn't be for the full 90, maybe for one half, just so we can take the lead and then maybe bring on a Lucky maybe at halftime. That's how I'm kind of envisioning it. Hurry home. I know you're a big fan of his. I think it'll be too soon to put him in the first team, but let's see. Jones, Rio, Neone, Chiesa, and Wright. Wright is a shout. I just don't know if he would give him a start in this fixture. But in terms of the other players, I think we've all got them in the lineup as well. So it's not a bad setup there. But he thinks this is what Slot will do. So Slot will play Mama, Ramsey, Gomez, Virgil, and Robbo. I don't think he'll play Virgil in this one personally. I think if he's going to select one centre back, it would be Konate. And he gone for Graham Jones, Rio, the only case I got Gakpo. Yeah, that's quite strong, to be fair. And I'll be honest with you, can't rule it out. I just think Virgil will be rested for this one. I don't expect him to start in this game or to be even on the bench. I think he'll be rested for this one. So starting Chiesa, he hasn't got much options, to be fair. He has to start him. Um, no disrespect to Will Wright, but if Will Wright starts ahead of Chiesa and Chiesa on the bench, then Chiesa might as well just hand in his transfer request. Honestly, there really is no point. What happened to Jay and Dan? So he picked up a hamstring injury a couple of months ago. So the reports that he will start training early January, which is right now. So haven't really heard a further update in regards to his development, but could be an option on the bench, but I don't think he'll be risked. So so no, I don't think so. Trent Doherty, right wing. Yep, but I would expect him to be on the bench. I think he'll be a bench option for us in this fixture. I don't think he'll start. But I can see him coming on for like the last half an hour, for example. Kayla Figueroa at left wing. Uh, he's a player that I would have had on the bench because we spoke about him quite recently as well, and he's renowned to be a lethal striker. So a player that can play out wide, I guess, as well. So I would assume he would be an option off the bench. Whether he starts or not, I don't think he will, to be fair. Kobe Cisse, I've not seen much of him, so I don't know in terms of where he would fit in the scenario. But I think you mentioned him quite recently, did you, in terms of his position? Because I think you said he was an attacker first, and now he's been moved to centre back. So yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Eric Farkas is a big talent as well, who don't want to sign new contracts in Slot is here. Okay, both him and Abe. I didn't know that, to be fair. I don't think it's because of Slot, to be fair. There must be something else where maybe they're not getting assurances from the hierarchy that they'll be given a pathway into the first team, or maybe they've got high financial demands in terms of signing a new professional contract, and Liverpool like, no, this is our structure. We don't go above the structure, so that's just how it is. So we don't know the full picture. I don't think it would be because of Slot, but I could be wrong in that matter. I feel like it's just speculation at this stage, to be fair. Now, in terms of score predictions, you would expect Liverpool to demolish a League One team because we don't play with any real emphasis on attacking teams. I'm not too sure. I'm not saying we'll lose, but I think it won't be a big scoreline that many are presuming. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. Now, in terms of the goal scorers, I'm going for uh, Federico Chiesa to score, and I also think Curtis Jones will be on the score sheet as well. So that is my score predictions. Feel free to let me know what you think the score will end up being on Monday. Uh, and that is my match preview. Before we close the show, let me just go through some of the comments. There is one transfer rumor that I'll talk about very quickly, and then we can take it from there. So, Delizio says, Green Aussie in chat, Liverpool need to sign Aga, Sacco, Lovren, Colature, and Steven Cloker. The only player I would consider in that list is Daniel Aga. He's one of my favorite centre backs of all time. So, yeah, that would be the only player I'd consider into this current team. Well, says going for a 1-0 win, real goal. Fair shout. Oz says 2-2, then 9-8 on penalties. Aussie, bloody hell, man. You want me to go through the highest of stress levels on Monday, isn't it? Let's see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, I'll be a bit of a mental scoreline there. But let's see what happens. Very sad news on Musonda, as he only had a few days to live. I'm not sure who's Musonda. Musonda. Charlie Musonda. Oh no. Couple of days to live. Only 33 years of age. That's so sad. Oh, that's really sad. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of this, to be fair. Former Chelsea youth player. Oh yeah. Prayers and thoughts to go out to him. Hopefully, it's not sad. When it's sad when you hear things like that, isn't it? Oh, that's really sad. Yeah. Thoughts and prayers go out to him. Uh, big talent from Chelsea. Youth player there. Only 33 years of age. So yeah, thoughts and prayers to him in this difficult time right now. Um, Now before we close the show, there was one rumor circulating today. It's not a strong rumor, but we might as well discuss it. And yes, you guessed it. Um, one of my favorite players that I would like Liverpool to sign one day, and that is Bradley Barcola. Now, the current rumor is that Liverpool are considering a formal approach for Bradley Barcola to test PSG's resolve, despite featuring regularly for Luis Enrique. Barcola is said to be frustrated with his role in Paris, particularly due to a lack of guaranteed starts and frequent positional changes. And at this stage, it looks like he's weighing his options. Liverpool view Barcola as a long-term attack investment and crucially a future successor to Mo Salah. As a result, the Reds are probably willing to go as high as 100 million euros, which is around 90 million pounds, to push the deal. However, PSG are unlikely to make things easy. Um, so my thoughts on this, I don't see this being a January move, first of all. Secondly, not surprised by the links as we were strongly linked with him last summer. In terms of him being the long-term successor for Mohamed Salah, I don't agree with that either because even though he can do a great job on the right wing, his natural position is playing from the left-hand side. So I don't think he is his successor. In my eyes, I see him more as a Luis Diaz replacement. So that's where I see his role being in the team. If he was to join, I would be over the moon with this signing. I feel like he's one of those players in world football that is different to the current style of left wingers in this day and age where you got a lot of technical left wingers nowadays, like your Rodrigos, those type of players. But I need someone that's willing to use his pace, go on the burners, and get past fullbacks. And that's what Barcola does all day long. Finishing could be improved, if I'm being honest, even though he had some great numbers for PSG last season. But there is times where he takes a few chances before he converts, kind of similar to Luis Diaz at Liverpool, to be fair. Um, so yeah, for me, this would be a fantastic signing for us. I don't see us pursuing him in this window unless something develops. I see him being a target for us in the summer. So feel free to let me know in terms of what you guys think. Steve says you don't rate Lovren. Um, he's all right. I think he peaked when he was at Southampton. When he joined us, he kind of went down a level, in my opinion, and very inconsistent. So yeah, not for me. Mo Salah's best buddy, yes, they are best mates. Not Barcola again. It's not me just raising it. It's speculation. It's from media outlets, not just me wanting to talk about Bradley Barcola. It's in the news. It's online, so you can read those articles. Sorry, bros, but man is overrated. That's your opinion. I still rate him quite highly. Ain't no he's worth 100 million euros, not even close. Uh, Loose clears Barcola, but it all took Blues. What are you doing around here? At least, all right, we got there in the end. Um, sorry, that made me chuckle. Uh, at least say over Barcola. Oh, I agree. If you gave me a choice between the two players, I'm going with Elise all day long. I don't know. I don't feel like Elise is realistic. But if we are willing to spend close to 100 million euros for Barcola, then we might as well stump up the crash and get Elise because it depends on Arne Slot or the next coach as well. More importantly, because what is the set for the coming future? Are we sticking to this 4-2-3-1 slash 4-3-3 formation, or are we going to switch up where we're going to play two strikers up top because we've got the likes of Isak and Katike in the team? Are we going to find a like for like replacement for Salah? Because if that is the case and that is the profile that we want, then for me, Elise is the undisputed choice, and I don't think there's anyone else that rivals him. So therefore, I would rather spend all the cash on Elise. But if that's not the case, then we need to sign someone that can play there, but can also be versatile, playing different roles. Then Barcola would make sense in that scenario as well. Um, it just depends on who the next coach is, because I don't think Slot will be here longer than this season, and what the blueprint is. Are we sticking to the same formation, or are we going to switch it up in the future? So we'll have to wait and see. Bowles is Nusa is a very, very interesting player. I rate him very, very highly. I think stylistically, he would be close to what Diaz presented for us over the years. And on that left hand side, I feel like he would be a menace, and he wouldn't cost too much. I was quite surprised we didn't go for him because we were heavily linked with Barcola, but I think Barcola, because of where he played, I think he'll demand, or his club will demand, a huge transfer fee. Malik Fofana, and even though Malik Fofana looks like he's got great potential, I just still feel like there's a few steps he needs to make in order to be a player ready to move to a club like Liverpool, in my opinion. But Nusa was someone I mentioned in the summer, and someone I feel like would have been a very smart sign if we had, pulled it off in the summer. I genuinely believe he is one of the players on our shortlist. He has to be in terms of what he brings to the table. And I don't think he'd cost too much. So I think that's a great shout there. Nusa would definitely be a player I would like the club to look into. And I would love it if it was in this window because we missed out on Semenyo. Why not go for Nusa? Nusa can play on the right wing as well, although he predominantly likes to play from the left. Can play as a number 10 as well, but I feel like he would be fantastic on our team. So Nusa, I think, would be a very smart and astute signing if Liverpool were to pursue him. No Wharton updates? No, nothing come out today in regards to Wharton. Also, what is Connor's injury timescale? Hasn't been confirmed yet, so I'm sure we'll get an update later this weekend. Hopefully, it's nothing too severe, and he's in and around the team very, very soon. Also, saw some links to new stuff from Indy Kyla today. Oh, okay, fine. Always got to take his sort of tweets with a pinch of salt, but I like the look of Nusa. I think he would be a great addition to our squad. So let's see if there's any truth to the rumor. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Bo, to Ozan, shout out to Steve for your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, in terms of upcoming show, nothing scheduled for this weekend, unless some crazy breaking news happens where I have to come on and have a show with you guys. So the next scheduled show will be on Monday. It will be for this game. I'm assuming the kickoff is 8 p.m., but let me double check. There we go. It's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. So I will be live from 7:40 p.m. UK time. So we'll watch the game together. And then we will do the match reaction show straight after. And then that's the next two scheduled shows for the upcoming week. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Goodbye.